this is my very favorite part of the conference, when we start to hear from the members. So this is just where the richness is. So I get to introduce our first core member of the year, Tim Gunn. Tim is in... Hey, guys, bring it on. Tim's in his third term of service as an AmeriCorps member with the Sustainability Institute, and he's serving in their Energy Conservation Corps. Over the last 3 years, Tim moved from crew leader to assistant site supervisor, where he schedules, organizes, and leads Corps members in home energy efficiency repair retrofitting projects. Tim's not only doing all this great work, but he's a mentor to his crew members. He's a community leader, and as you'll hear, a true testament to the transformative power of conservation corps. Welcome one more time, Tim Gunn. Thank you. Corps member of the year.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone who has helped and guided me along the way. I can stand here and thank every last one of them, but that would practically be my whole speech. But thank you for the ones who are with me and those who have moved on in eternal rest. My name is Timothy Gunn. I'm 25 years old. I'm from North Charleston, South Carolina. I'm an assistant team leader at the Sustainability Institute, and I've been working here for 2.5 years now. I own a landscaping business, and I just started up last year. But life wasn't always this way for me, especially growing up in a separated household because of a divorced mother and father. I had to deal with visitation for most of my childhood. My dad's house on the weekend, my mother's throughout the week. I just wanted a family, maybe something to belong to, something to be accepted. So by the age of 15, I moved with my grandmother, and that's when I was introduced to the streets. I used to see my big cousins and uncles with the drugs, the cars, the clothes, and the honeys, and that was enough to grab any young man's attention. So I went for the same thing. I started selling drugs, using them. If anyone outside my family had money, I would just try to take it from them. By the age of 20, I felt like I was on top of the world and no one could tell me anything. I had all I could ask for, a street family and all the material things that came with it. But my mother, on the other hand, always told me time after time, leave it alone. But by that time, I was already too far gone. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and something just didn't feel right. My world came to a crashing halt. I had gotten arrested. I got charged with 8 felony charges and a $1.15 million bond. And the only thing to save me now was the Powerball. At that moment in my life, it had flashed before my eyes. I just wanted to make fast money because I knew a 9-to-5 wasn't for me. Besides, my cousins and uncles didn't work. In my mind, I knew I was an entrepreneur. I wanted to be successful, someone important, and to have all what I was missing. During my incarceration, I learned who my true family was, not the ones who was in the street with me. Instead, they abandoned me, didn't send me a dime, while my mother, on the other hand, never missed a beat. Putting money on my canteen, putting minutes on the phone. I remember a conversation with her telling me to go to Bible study. So I didn't go to Bible study. At first, I was still stubborn and didn't want to listen, but eventually I went, and that's where I met JR. JR shared his story about how he'd been locked up and how he'd been through some of the same situations, being locked up and forgotten about. He also shared how AmeriCorps and the Sustainability Institute had helped guide him on the right track to become a supervisor and own his own business. He also shared how he was AmeriCorps Member of the Year in 2013 on the National Council of Young Leaders, how he was making a difference from the jailhouse to the White House. So before he had left to study that night, he had given me his card and told me to call him after my release. He also told me he could possibly get a job for me and also a career opportunity. After my release, I didn't call right away. I practically waited 9 months before I called, but I did. He explained the Energy Conservation Corps was a 6-month program that offered nearly $3,000 in scholarship and if you completed 900 hours of work. He also explained to me that the pay wasn't the best, but just enough to get through. But the reward was far greater in the end. I decided that day this would be the start of my new life and my success story. AmeriCorps and the Sustainability Institute helped guide me because of its great stuff it offered. But sometimes I just felt like giving up and going back to the fast money. But I learned that it was not to the swift who win the race, but the one who endures. This program taught me the real meaning of commitment and dedication. They had given me a chance to prove myself and work my way up. In the program, I gained a DET certification, which is a duct and envelope tightness certification. It dealt with the ins and outs of the heating and cooling system. I nearly scored a perfect score, and I had only missed one question. By that time, the Sustainability Institute had really seen the growth and the potential in me. Once I completed the first 6 months, they offered me a position as assistant team leader. It was the first time in my life I had felt a real sense of accomplishment and not a false one given by the streets. I had found something better than hitting the lottery. I had found a place where I belonged. Now as a member of the Corps, I'm giving back to the community by helping homeowners save money by lowering their energy bill. We use equipment, we help educate people so that they can help themselves to reduce their energy bill as well. Also, I would love to become an advocate against shootings, burglaries, drugs, and bad choices. I used to take from the community, but now I'm giving back. I've also learned that life is a gift and time is to be used wisely. God has opened my eyes and given me the opportunity to see what life truly is about. I've learned that sometimes you can't control what happens in life, but you can control how you react. I have decided to persevere towards excellence and bring as many along with me for the journey, making a life worth sharing, impacting lives while changing futures. Thank you.